Hello, everybody. This is Val.
This is how we do it.
Now, this is Val with This Is How You Do It. I'm coming on with a review of Empire. Now, it comes on with Cookie and Candace beating the pavement looking for Carol. And, of course, they are arguing every step of the way. And meanwhile, Hakeem is going out of his mind saying, Mama, where are you? Mama, where are you? Don't you know we done sold out all our tickets and you need to come back home and take care of some business? And she like, boy, handle it, handle it. I am running around town looking for you, your Aunt Carol. And Laretha. Did you hear what Candace called her? Laretha. Now, we know Cookie name is her name is Laretha. So they all said, Laretha said, which is Cookie said, well, do you know where Carol used to hang out at? Did she used to hang out at the crack house? And Candace like, honey, I don't do crack houses. But then it's like, Cookie said, girl, let's go. You ain't been married to the white man all your life. And them little kids, she said her kids is figure skating and what else she say? Figure skating and debate team. Girl, what you say, what you say, what you say. And meanwhile, while Cookie is looking for her sister in the crack house, Hakeem is rehearsing with his little girlfriend. And then they flash over to Anika. She is watching a live feed of the rehearsal. And so since she watching the live feed of the rehearsal, she up there eating her ice cream, feeding that pregnancy, y'all. Feeding that pregnancy. And then she got all these photos laying across the floor talking about lies, lies. What's cooking in her mind? Yeah, what's cooking in her mind? What is she going to do? I actually thought when I first saw them that she had snatched the girl and she had did something to her. But my girl got a bigger plan for this situation. What's she going to do, y'all? Cookie then searched the crack house with her sister, and she walking around, Carol, 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 calling for her in the crack house, y'all. People laying everywhere. Then she looked up, and she thought she saw him. She turned over a lady, and she said, that ain't her. Where Carol? Lucius, Jamal, and Sky Summers are doing a photo shoot. Yes, a photo shoot. Now, Sky Summers want to do some albums with Jamal. Now, what they doing now, they taking photo shoots for the Pepsi commercial and the black and white album. And then they said the legendary Lucius. And Lucius says, don't be calling me old. He's, he trying to say Jamal is copying off of him. He is the original OG. What you say, Lucius? Got a complex, Lucius? You getting old? Your son taking over? What's going on, man? Child, while Hakeem was practicing, Delgato got a visit from the Bulls. You say the Bulls, Val, you know the folks that snatched Hakeem. And they said, why are we just selling it just to rip off the music? They ripping off the music and reselling it, y'all. He said, we don't want you to do that. Let's just go deeper. And you know what happened? Delgato got mad. Delgato pulled a gun on the Bulls. And they said, man, you gonna put a gun on me? I thought we was in this for life. And Delgato said, or to death is your choice. And meanwhile, Cookie is telling Candace that she ain't got time to be running around looking for Carol. She said, I got things to do, girl. I got to get back to New York. I ain't got time for this. And then, you know what? She started blaming Cookie for this, that, and the other. When they was young, how she got her sister drunk. It's her fault. It's her fault. It's her fault. It's her fault. Cookie said, pull this damn car over. I'm getting out. Cookie got out the car. And she was like, you take my car, you look for her. And then, you know what she said? She said, if I find her dead, it's all your fault. She said, it's always been all my fault. You know how sisters fussing and fighting and scratching and clawing at each other. They call her a cab, honey. And then she said she ain't gonna leave her Candace twisting in the wind. She gonna get some of her friend called Capagud. That's what she called them. And she said she gonna get her friend to help her look for her sister. She ain't gonna fool with that bougie one no more. Child, Lucius then went and bought Andre and his wife a mansion. A mansion. 6 bedrooms. And then he said, a maid can be underneath. Not a maid. The nanny to take care of the baby. And he said that since Hakeem done dropped his last name, he got to look to the future for Empire Dynasty. I almost said the Lions, but no, the Lions Dynasty. Yeah, he said the Lions because the man done dropped his last name. Okay, now look at him. Hakeem done dropped his last name. He done wrapped up with Andre and said, Andre, I am so proud of you. And then he said, we got to move on this Swiftstream thing. And he said, Daddy, the only way we can get this is we kind of sell our, give up our royalties for your old music and your most valuable music. And he said, you know, Cookie got half of that, so we're going to have to talk her into it. Girl, talk Cookie into giving up something? Okay, now. And then when the Andre gets so popular, got a baby on the way. It must be kryptonite, y'all. It must be kryptonite. Here go Hakeem saying, Lance. And I'm like, Lance? Okay, he talking about El Gato. Come in here. Let me talk to you for a minute. He said, I heard Big Heavy then was here. And that's making my girls nervous. What the hell he doing here? And then he said, man, I took care of it. He said, well, you better. And then he told him, you know, because this is my business, this is my life. Okay. He said, man, I got you. And he said, man, you know what? I've been hard on you. Hakeem's starting to accept him, y'all. Hakeem's starting to accept him. And then here go Delgato. You can trust me, man. But when he walked out the door, he know he got some heavy stuff on his hands, trying to stop them folks from ruining the Hakeem and Cookie's show. Now the lady Cookie called up used to be a lady that she was in prison with, y'all. And you know what? And they was reminiscing on all the good times you had in prison. Can you believe it? Well, anyway, she told her that she found out where Kara was, and she was hanging out with Bonds, this little skinny guy that liked to beat folks. You know what I'm saying? And she said, you don't need to go down there by yourself because they ain't going to talk to you like they talk to me. So she ended up going with Summers, and her manager is at Lucius' house, and Jamal is playing a song for her that Lucius said, play that song for that we were working on. And it's like he was saying, I am so natural. She was looking kind of funny. And then Jamal like, what's wrong? Because Jamal can read her. But Lucius said, girl, you need to stay in your lane. You supposed to be this type of musician, that type of musician. And Jamal said, won't you go in there and show the manager this new art deal that you just bought? And he just went in there to show her that because Jamal is reading her like she ain't feeling this. Because Jamal said he love her music and he love her and he feel what she feel. You get what I'm saying? Jamal like feeling her, y'all. He feeling her. Nikki, while Cookie was walking around looking for her sister, she was reminiscing with her prison. I think that was her prison girlfriend because she said she did a 17 stretch with her. That's what I'm thinking now. Because her sister said, y'all went to prison together. And she said, yeah, I did 17 years with her. Well, anyway, they found the sister child. When they found her, she was all wrapped up with this man on this little dirty couch sitting in I don't even know if there was an alley or in the front of some apartment somewhere. And Cookie ran out there, get your hands off her. Get your hands off my sister. And then she said, girl, get your behind in the car. And she said, I ain't going nowhere with you until we get something to eat, child. But before she did that, she threw up on the bougie one, y'all. Threw up all over her shoes. Well, you know why they was out getting something to eat. Candace wanted to know what Kara was going to come back with her. And then Cookie said, well, she can stay with me. And Candace said, okay, pick choose, and she chose to go with Cookie. And then when Cookie went to go to the bathroom, she said it wouldn't be such a sister sledge moment if she knew what you did while she was in prison. I wonder, did she sleep with Lucius? I don't know what she did, y'all, but that's a thought, isn't it? Did she sleep with Lucius, y'all? Do she got a baby with him? I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't know. Cause Lucius is a hoe from a whole town. Lucius called Hakeem his office and told him that he gonna give him one last chance. You know, he finna buy a Swift screen, and Hakeem said, I heard about it on the street. But he said, when I buy a Swift screen, it's gonna be worth a fortune. I want you to sign the contract that you're gonna sing for Empire. He said, this your last chance. Okay. He said, how do I know that you're gonna do what you said you're gonna do? He said, I reward loyalty. Just look at Ronna and Andre. I just bought them a 6-bedroom mansion on 2 acres. And then, you know, Hakeem looked at him and he said, well, this is one son that can't be bought. Child, he done took over the role of Jamal by being the one that can't be bought. What? Well, we'll see. Walk in on Sky Summers singing her song, I Matter, You Matter. Okay, now, just to listen at them, Jamal get her. Jamal is seeing her on so many different levels. You know how you can fall in love with somebody with a brilliant mind because they are so smart. You're not actually it's nothing physical. It's just they're so brilliant, they're so smart, and you're attracted to that. That's what I'm seeing from Jamal. It's her music and the words and so much stuff that's being said in the words of her music. He's been drawn to that. He's been drawn to the greatness that's inside of her. He can see more than what other people see. That's what I'm picking up from Jamal. Are y'all picking that up too? Anika is over there talking to Jamal's wife, and she's sitting around at that mansion. Child, did y'all see that ocean view right in the backyard? The ocean. Where's there ocean in New York? I don't know. Well, it may be, y'all. It may be. Okay, now. It's a beautiful view, y'all. Now, she's sitting around talking to Anika, and she gave her some lemonade or some tea or something like that, and Anika tasted and almost gagged on it. But you know she got on this big old oversized coat, and she covering herself up, and then she said, what's wrong with you? She said, I'm in love. It ain't nobody you know. Now she put that story out there. Honey, if I was pregnant from one of them folks, I would have shouted it from the mountaintop. But she doing it a little bit different. And then you know what Jamal's wife told her? Well, honey, if I love somebody, did I ever tell you what I did to this girl when I was in college? A ponytail story. She said, I went into her dorm room when she was asleep and cut off her ponytail. And then she sent her a video text in and said, of the ponytail, and said, if you don't leave my man alone, I'm going to start cutting something else. And she said, when you got something that's worth fighting for, you got to fight for it. Now, honey, and take anybody out that get in your way. What she want to tell that crazy girl to do that for? Y'all, Cookie finally made it back home, honey. She was sitting in her office, you know, all tired, feet hurt from beating the pavement looking for that sister. And when she was leaning back in her chair, Lucius walked in and put his arms around her, honey, and she thought it was her man, you know what I'm saying? And she said, well, tomorrow, I got work to do, but tomorrow I'll be all yours. Lucius said, you promise? And then she jumped up and hit him, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of cute, y'all. I like that. Well, anyway, he went there to ask her. See, he had some business to take care of. That's why he was there. He went there to ask her to sign over her rights to all the music that they produced together. And she said, you must be out your natural born mind. She said, if we give up the music, we ain't got nothing left. This is going to bankrupt us. Just to keep you from being stupid, I'm not going to give it to you. Well, he said, y'all still on the board of directors. We'll still be all right. She like, duh. We'll be bankrupt. No. And then Delgato come in there with his fine self. with 2 glasses and a bottle of wine. And then he introduced himself to Lucius, shook his hand. What you want to do that for, my nigga? And then Lucius said, I see you sleeping your way to the bottom. And then he knocked over the wine and said, now you got your maid in here. Maybe he can clean it up. Hakeem was playing that song, Put a Bullet in the Name Lion, like he had dropped when he had dropped his last name. Now, he said he may put that in the show, and the little girl with him, like kissing all on him. Yeah, baby, put it in the show. You know they want to hear it. I can't get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? And then Anika was standing in the doorway. And you know how it is when everybody know that you sleeping around with somebody, and then they come in. Hakeem, Anika, they're Anika. Just like the crazy baby mama, right? Okay. Now, Anika came in to strike her first blow. And then she came in with her nose looking at the girl like, oh, you can do so much better. Told her all about Camilla and told her that the song that she was singing with Hakeem was a song that he wrote for Camilla. And then said that you can do so much better. This woman living in a hovel with her 7 brothers and sisters. Child, trying to strike the first blow. And this girl talking about, who is she? Who is she? Who is Camilla? Who is her? You know, got her in a uproar. And then Hakeem talking about, why are you doing this? Anika. So you know when people effing, that's the way they act. Sky Summers was at this taping of the Pepsi commercial deal. You know how Jamal had put Lucia's song and Cookie's song together and merged it and made something beautiful. Okay, they was taping that song, and Lucius told the director, can't we Jamal and I do something together? And then he wanted to take him off to the side to horn in on this boy thing. Okay, the man told him, Lucius, you are the past. Jamal is the future. And then the girl had told him just a few minutes ago that the only reason I came over here to sing, Sky said, the only reason I came over here is because the way you started out, how you was out the box, and Jamal is out the box, I want to be with him. And as Jamal was singing that song, and he heard his part come up, he just smiled. When he heard the other part came up, he just stared at him like he could have cut him with a knife, y'all. Jealousy. That's what it is. He is jealous of Jamal greatness. And you know what he said after that? Because I just talked to Andre earlier, because Andre told him that the only way we can buy SwiftStream is we sell off parts of the company. You know the parts he talking about? He talking about the sports, the fashion, and the alcohol proceeds. You know, their companies they got. And you know what Lucius said when he looked at Jamal, and the man said, yes, it's all about Jamal. And then you know what he did? He told Andre, sell it. Let's see. You know, just because he want to be relevant, he is sacrificing other parts of their company just because he want to be known as the greatest in the music business. Child, jealous of your baby boy, because the cub is becoming a lion. Hakeem and Cookie in there handling business, talking about how much the light bill is, $2,500. She said, boy, we need lighting. And then their guy to come on in there, you know, being the servant, serving drinks. And then he trying to get her to move the venue, and she's saying, I'm not moving, and I done spent a brick in this stuff. I am not moving. And then she's saying, like, you know, she's starting to get suspicious of him. And he talking about, trust me, Cookie, just trust me. And she said, well, you making it kind of hard the way you acting. And then, you know, he said, I'm just looking out for you. That's what he trying to tell her, but not tell her. See, and then the baby boy, Hakeem, say, you know, I hope we don't be messing around, them bullet boys don't be come around him messing with us. And then he said, you know, that was giving them a chance to tell them what was going on. But he didn't tell them what was going on. Lucius came in, child. Lucius came in and said, pretty boy, I knew this was going to happen because Lucius don't want nobody with Cookie. He said, I looked you up. You one of them bullet boys. And then Hakeem said, Mom, All of them have a bull on the back of on their back. Does he have one? Cookie got up. First, she got the gun from behind his back. You know, he keep a gun in the small of his back. See, Cookie know that. See, she's smart. She got up and snatched that gun from behind his back and pulled down his shirt and said, Hakeem, does it look like this? And Hakeem look like that. And she said, I got this. And she stood in front of him. And then he was telling her, I love you. I just started out as a game, but then I fell in love with you. And she said, And she had the gun pointing into his chest like that, And she was holding him back with the gun. And then she said, Hakeem, get up. Let's go. And then she turned around. Hakeem went on and walked out the door. And then she turned around and looked at Lucius and gave Lucius the gun. And they looked to me, y'all. This is what it looked like to me. If he can talk himself out of it, I hope he can. But I don't know. She gave Lucius the look like killing. And Lucius looked at her. Are you sure? You know how a husband and wife can talk to each other without opening their mouth. Child, look like they're going to take him out. And Lucius like, oh well. Now, oh well, a minute. Hakeem went back to the house and he called Anika, and just to get her straight for the way she acted at the doggone rehearsal. Okay, he telling her, she walked in and said, well, you know, thanks for calling me over. You done came to your senses. She said, no, I called you over here to tell you why you acting so crazy. I don't love you. And she said, you love me, you love me, you love me. And he said, I do not love you. I do not love you. Get it through your thick head. I do not love you. Honey, and then she said that, is it Lucius? Lucius told me that you can have a run-in at me. It'll be a little more trickier with your mama. But when she find out that she was going to tell him that she's pregnant. He said, you will never be a lion. Never. Never. So she didn't get a chance to tell him again that she walked in on Cookie, pacing back and forth, throwing stuff, tearing up her office because she wanted to go stop Lucius. Then she didn't want to stop Lucius. You know how we get torn, ladies, when the man treat us like dirt, but you still care for him. You know you need to go down, but you don't want him to go down. So when Carol walked in and saw her doing all that, she turned in on Carol and said, look, you need to get some help. She said, we both saw what happened to this guy with his head cut off. You handling it different. You've been a drug addict ever since you was young, and you need to get some rehab because I'm not going to sit around here and watch you kill yourself. So if you don't get some help, you got to get out of here because I ain't going to watch it. And she said that she was going to go get some help, y'all. Jamal is over here singing with Sky that song, I Matter, You Matter. And you know what? They wrote it, they supposed to have wrote that song together, finished together, and they're singing that beautiful song. And the way Jamal is looking at her, it's just, it looks like love, honey. It looks like love. And he walked over when they finished the song. He kissed her right there on the head. Well, she has some pretty hair, y'all. It's burgundy, that purple looking hair. And when he kissed on the head, and then she looked up at him, but you know, I thought she was going to be gay in the picture, but I guess she's not. She looked up at him and they did a kiss. Honey, I thought they was going to sleep together. You think they sleeping together, y'all? Because he already done kissed, and it was one of those kisses like soft, tender love kiss. Child. But you got to remember, y'all, he did have a wife. And they did think that was his baby. So Jamal saying he is gay. Maybe he bisexual, y'all. What y'all think?